All right, Eddie, you can be seated. Let's just get it out of the way, all right? Let's just hit it from the jump street.
Right away?
What everybody wants to know is, how is it that you have your own dynamic ministry with Rawsrvnt? How is it that you came about ending up on Omarosa's show, The Ultimate Merger? This is what they want to know, all right?
Did anybody see the show?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, they watched the show. They didn't, some of them didn't raise their hand, but
yeah, so, all right, well, it was a God thing. We'll say that I was just kind of cruising along, just getting ready to go minister at a place in Florida, and I get a phone call from a friend of mine who has one of the largest Christian hip-hop websites. It's called Rawsrvnt.com. So he gives me a phone call, and he's like, hey, Eddie, what you doing? I said, I'm getting ready to do a gig. He said, okay, are you single, by the way? I said, oh, man, you another one trying to hook me up? What you gonna say? Did you got a good-looking sister or a cousin or something? He says, no, man, it ain't like that. Donald Trump's people just called me, and they're looking for a good-looking single Christian rapper to be a part of a show. I'm like, what kind of show? And he's like, a dating show. I said, oh, really? All right, well, tell him to call me then, you know? And I was just thinking about it, really praying about it, and after the gig, I got the phone call, and sure enough, it was for real. They really wanted a Christian rapper. And I felt compelled to go, because oftentimes the world portrays Christians as lunatics, man, nuts, just, you know what I mean? Yeah, I know we don't got it all together, but we're not half as bad as they show us on TV, you know what I mean? Super righteous, you know what I mean? Judgmental, you know what I mean? Just, massive hypocrites and this, that, and the other. And I was like, nah, man, we got to go set the record straight. Let me go show what a man who's in love with Jesus looks like, you know what I mean? And then for y'all women, how a godly man approaches dating or, approaches a relationship. And as you saw, the show was had and Rose didn't work that good, you know what I mean? And I was just being me, and she was like, cut me from the jump. She didn't like the long hair. She looked like this Cuban thug over here, you know what I mean?
Okay, so next I have one more question that I was wondering, and that is she really as mean and cutthroat and woman of steel as she projects on the show off the set?
Even Wonder Woman has her things, you know what I mean? She's definitely a sweetheart, you know what I mean? Off of the camera, off of the reality show staging, you know what I mean? We've had some great times together. Matter of fact, we did a big interview on streamingfaith.com. If you guys are familiar with it, it's a huge website that broadcasts, sermons, concerts, this, that, and the other. So on Streaming Faith, her and I did this big interview, and you can really see the sensitivity that she has for the Lord and for people. Something that, of course, if you just watch the show on first glance, you don't get, and I didn't get, because when her and I were talking on the couch, it was one of these numbers. Hey, Eddie, come sit down with me. Okay, sure. And I didn't know if she was going to rip my heart out or, be nice to me. So, as you saw, she wasn't too keen on listening to what I had to say, but now she listens a lot.
Yeah, in fact,
she's been to my church.
Y'all have developed a friendship.
We developed a friendship. She's been to my church.
Right.
She saw me jam out for all the kids. I did some music one weekend. Ironically, the Lord did another thing where I'm getting ready to go out of town, and something happened. The gig got switched over, back, pushed back and whatnot. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm on the go, making moves as usual. So I started putting something together. Did this interview down south in Miami at this big radio station. She gives me a phone call the day before. Hey, I'm gonna be in town. What are you doing? I got an interview. What are you doing? And she's like, oh, this, that, and the other. I said, well, come on through. So we ended up getting on the the radio station. We got to share our faith together there. And then the next day she came up to my church, and since then she's really seen the gem of a dude I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I thought from what give him a great big hand clap. I thought you represented yourself well.
Amen.
And that I think you showed what character is all about,
Amen.
even when it comes to dating and for a Christian.
Oh, yeah.
And you remain true to who you were and what God has done in your life. And I thought that spoke very loud and clear from that.
Amen. I want to encourage y'all, it's not as hard as people think it is. I mean, really, the world is looking, like I said, I mean, I've written tons of blogs and tons of interviews and whatnot, and one thing that really comforted me to do the whole thing was the world waits in eager expectations for the sons of God to be revealed, for the daughters of the Lord to stand up and say, nah, this is what a woman's supposed to be like. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know, likewise the men. So, you know, they're looking for us. Yeah. Right. So I went and I befriended all the people that were on the show and had such a great time building authentic relationships with these folks. You know what I mean? And still to this day, I'm always in touch with them as much as I can. You know what I mean? A couple weekends ago, I was here in Maryland doing another gig, and I called up Charles Parker, who was on the show, and he came to the church service with me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you never know. You just never know. Right. You know what I mean? Wherever setting you're at, wherever you are right now, that is your mission field.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? That is your platform to stand up and say, yo, I believe in Jesus, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? You ain't got to go, you know, slap the Bible over them. You be the Bible. That's, you know what I'm saying? And be the Bible to them. You know, you be God, you know, to them. Like, show them how he operates. Like, look, I'm going to show you God. This is how God is. You know what I mean? I'm going to be a representative. I'm going to be his image to you. You know what I mean?